Hello everybody, welcome back to late night episode at the shop. We have some goodies to go on the new car. But first, we need to fire up the fire. If you don't start a fire like that, you're doing it wrong. Just kidding, be safe when you're starting a fire. A little risky. But we're going to be working on my new car. Visually, it looks like a 70, but it's actually a 72. But just for the heck of it, from now on, we're just going to call it a 70 Dodge Challenger. There's some things that I've been working on underneath the hood, underneath the dash. But one thing I want to work on the outside is these wheels and tires. Mainly the tires, because they got these old Goodyear polyglass tires on it. They do not handle worth the crap. I don't trust them for doing a burnout or even having any kind of fun with it. I'm worried that they're going to pop and destroy the car. And I figured if I'm going to be spending the time and the money on getting some new tires, I'm not really digging these. They're not original. They are reproduction wheels to look kind of classic. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I know some of you guys are, but they got to go. And I've been hunting and hunting for new tires and wheels on Facebook and stuff, trying to get lucky. Ended up just going at a store or a website called Wheels for Less. Tires, the wheels, mounted, balanced, shipped to your door. $1,200, all of them. And you get to pick out the size and everything per back tire, front tire. So we're going to go ahead and slap these on. But one thing about these is they are a touch bigger on the rear. These rear tires that are on it right now actually rub a little bit when you're getting a little froggy in the corners. And I don't really like how the car's pretty level. I'd like to just stand up a little bit more and really accent the fact that it's not a little engine in there. Because these tires, wheels, they look sissy. The engine is not sissy. I want it to look good and mean when it's not even running. So we're going to swap these out and we're going to put some air shocks underneath the back. My uncle's car back in the day had these so you could fit some really wide tires. But it's real simple. It's just a shock replacement, except for it's got an airline hookup. So we're going to swap these out, swap the tires and wheels out, take her for a rip, see how she does. Now we really get to learn this car's secrets when we lift it up. It does have new front steering components and all that, but we're going to really find out. And I'm going to do the front first because it's easier to get to. Those little doggers, I don't know if those are new, but those are what we're after. That's what we're going to replace right now. Three-way adjustable shocks. These shocks are for drag racing only. Do not street use. Well, okay, well, we'll take them off now after stuff's already rubbed. Overall, this car is pretty sound. They did run the ground right there, right out of the battery in the trunk. I'd like to address that a little bit. Pretty cool. got one out. There's the old one, little tiny dogger, and this is the air one. This literally, you air it up just like airbags. It's air shock. So we're gonna swap her out. I hope she fits. That exhaust is right, oh man, right close. I might have to put this thing upside down. Always something, guys, always something. The shock needs to go over like 2 inches. Look at it on this side. Check this out. This is how close it is. You see it right there? Look how close that thing is. That's what the stock one, or the whatever you'd call it, the one that came on the car. Well, I don't really want to start cutting on my exhaust tonight. I don't even really know what I'd have to... Man, I'd have to cut out a bunch. Don't really feel like doing that tonight. Well, let's see if these tires fit. I'll put everything back on. That shock wasn't that bad to get off. So let's go ahead and put those tires and wheels on, see how it looks. Well, now that we took that trip and got nowhere, let's see if these suckers fit. Okay, 1/8 inch wheel spacer. We're gonna try that. Try without it first. Come on, get on here, you little dogger. Oh. Glad I took that wheel spacer out. Yeah, that should work. Fit my whole hand. Almost get the bigger part of my fingers underneath there. I know the front clears better than it did. It had no problem before. Let's see. Oh, man. I can fit my whole hand on this side. That's not saying anything. You know, something could be weird with the car, but... yeah, we're going to need to get those shocks so we can lift the car up a little bit. Guess I got to cut the exhaust. I don't really want to do that. But look how mean it looks. Whoop. Obviously we'll get rid of the blue crap on there, but white lettering out. Well, I lost track of time. The fire went out. I think it's time to go to the house. We got the tires and wheels on. I'm glad I went with something that was very close to the tires that were on it, because she wouldn't have fit. The other side, like this one here, man, it kind of sucks. I can barely get my hand in there. But the other side over here, I think the rear diff is just a little bit off. I can fit this hand back here pretty dang good. So what I'm going to do is I have some options. I can cut my exhaust in order to make the fit, those air shocks, or I can get new spring leafs. And spring leafs, I found a place that their heavy duty ones give you a firmer ride and everything, which wouldn't be bad. This thing's pretty, but it'll give me a 2-inch lift. So that might be the ticket. But I think she's drivable the way she is. We'll find out. But I really don't want to cut the exhaust because it's done pretty nice. And then that'll get me a chance to get this thing centered, because it's tight. I don't think it'll hit, but I don't know. She's tight. But I can adjust those shocks that are underneath there. I learned how to adjust those. But that'll be for another time. We'll see you tomorrow. It has been quite a while since I've seen the car. So stoked to fire it up. But plans changed and required me to buy these. Actually, not a bad deal. It's about $200 a side after shipping and tax and all that. But these new springs will give the car a 2-inch lift in the rear, and they'll be a little bit stiffer, so should hopefully limit the body roll, and I'll adjust these shocks while I got it, you know, up in the air and get the shocks off. First things first, I don't have a lift, so we're gonna just have snap our fingers and the car will fly. Okay, well, that didn't work. All right, we'll get the jack. Just like the whole, how these cars were built back in the day to handle like legit horsepower, you know, carbureted legit horsepower. And then they got these 4 little tiny bolts to hold the front spring hanger. But just looky here. I think she was a little clapped out. Tin can versus friggin' a vice. Yeah, we're gonna go with these. Okay, before I throw this into a sweet montage, I just want to, you know, appreciate the moment. Having the shop, having the projects is all fun. At the end of the day, having your buddies come over and just lend a helping hand, hang out, have a couple drinks, and just have good conversation while we're actually getting some stuff done on the car. I've enjoyed all the Dodge Diesel content, all those projects. You know, even if you guys weren't watching, I'd still be happy to do those on my own time. I really do enjoy that. But for some reason, this car takes me back, and it's a different kind of fun for me, and I look forward to it and enjoy it, even though this car is a lot more expensive than any 12 valve. We're still down there, hitting it with the grinder, hitting with the welder, putting these new spring leafs in. You know, it was good fun with the boys. We actually knocked this out, and you know, a couple hours, it wasn't really that bad at all. I was expecting an older car to put up a little bit more fight, but it didn't. It was a good time, though. Let's see how much rake she's got now. Holy crap. Dang, dude. Yep, that's at least 2 inches. We might need to put those blocks in there. They will stack. It's got no, like, they're firm. Adjusted those drag shocks. Doesn't look too much, does it? I'll tell you what, it's a lot stiffer of a ride now, but at least my tires ain't rubbing. Old cars, like a horse and buggy, there's some work to drive. Man, she's got some power though. Nice little drive. It's actually pretty quiet when it's at idle. Not quiet when it's not at idle though. You know what I'm saying? Easy turbo, or easy big block. Well, the old girl, she rides like an old car still, but definitely better than before. Now, I don't want you thinking I just spent the first $2,000 on the car just trying to make it cosmetically look better. It already looked awesome as a car, but I did not trust those old polyglass tires on it because they're old. They're kind of, you know, you don't want to trust an old tire. So I get some new tires. I figured I might as well get the new wheels to go with it. Be done. Get what I want first swing. That way I'm not second guessing later on. And these turned out sick. Just wish those air shocks would have fit under the back. It would have made life a little bit easier. But all said and done, I'm happy I switched and got the new spring pack in the back because the bushings were wore out on the old one. And it's raked a little bit more than I really wanted it to be. It kind of almost looks a little Joe Dirt. I'll go get a tape measure, double check it. It did lift it to about 27.5 to the wheel well. I'll get it, double check that tape. But she rides different, rides a lot better. And I feel a lot more confident driving around knowing that my tires might not fly apart and destroy the car. That was like my worst fear. But it almost looks like the front could use a little bit now too. Not trying to lift kit the car, but trying to have it functional. It feels like the front settles in pretty quick. We do have the rear shocks tightened all the way up to max firmness, so we could probably lose a little bit in the back, but then the front is still a little saggy. So something happened to my outro clip, so I'm gonna make it quick, just you and I in the office. I have some other stuff that needs to get done to the car, but cosmetically, I am so thrilled of how this thing turned out. Those old steel wheels and old polyglass, I know people like those things a lot. If Nick's Garage ever watches this, that guy's got a really sweet Challenger, and he put those things, I thought it was funny. I'm taking them off, and he's excited to put those on his car. But I thought about going with the tires and wheels like the Vectors that'll be on a General Lee. I am glad I went with these. So much better. I wouldn't have liked them near as much had I put the Vectors on it. But some other stuff I need to get done to the car. I did take it for a drive. Got some good miles on it today. Sunday fun day, just me in the car. I only filmed that one clip for you guys. But just getting to, drive around, drive through the park, rev the engine at some old ladies. I'm a hardcore like that. But, it's just good time, good fun. But if you pull up to a stop sign and your car is kind of smoking a little bit, it makes whatever car you got look like a piece of crap. Why I was doing that is because it only had, when I first got it, it only had the one crank vent, the valve cover, the breather for the engine on the driver's side. And high revving V8s like this, I mean, it's not super high revving, but in a Cummins world, this thing is absolutely screaming. Where a Cummins starts to die out, this thing really starts to roll in to the power. So I did hot rod this thing, and when I came up to a stop, it was smoking a little bit because it kind of pushed a little bit of oil out the breather onto the headers, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to have to put it's not like the engine's worn out or anything like that. It's just when you're high revving, you're going to develop a little bit of crankcase pressure. Valve covers, these stuff's going to, it just, it happens. But anyway, so I'm going to need to do something about that, and it's got a brand new radiator in it, and I think the spout for the cap is leaking a little bit. Brand new. I bought this car, as a project, but it's in great shape so that I wouldn't really need to work on it too much. I could just daily drive and have fun. But either way, I still have fun working on this car. It takes me back, like I said in that little voiceover. But we're pretty happy about it. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the subscribe button. Comment below what you think about the new tires and wheels. Let's see, I might do a little tweak to the front suspension. Rumor is, I don't know, you might have a comment below about this, if I can adjust the torsion on the front end, tighten it up a little bit more, since it was a 318 car, now it's got a big block V8 in it now, not a little block. It's got a little bit more weight up there, so I'd like to just lift the front just a little bit more if I can. Maybe a different kind of shock that's got a coil spring in it or something like that. We're just tinkering. This is an open canvas as far as these cars go because it's no numbers matching, none of that stuff. So if I want to change anything on this, I don't care. I can change it. It's not a big deal. And it's not all original. It's not a Survivor car. This car was built in Dubai. Well, not originally built, but it was restored in Dubai. You get what I'm saying. But anyway, we're going to end it here. 3 minutes is up. Thanks for watching, guys. Put something in the comments. Tell me about your day. Anything. I don't care. It's something good. Communicate. See you.